You're tuned into the home for retro classics and modern tech breakthroughs. It's time for Austin's Tech Review.
Hello everybody, and I'm going to be talking about TinkerOS in this video, so stick around and listen to the new updates. It has been taken out of archive and there was a surprise release, and it features this multi-channel audio playing, and you're going to want to stick around to the end of the video because TinkerOS actually sent me a loot crate and I'm going to be unboxing it at the end of the video. So first we're just going to go over the features. Some of you may already be aware, I talked about TinkerOS a little bit in my book. It's one of the earliest TempleOS forks. It provides AHC SATA mode, USB version from the RAM disk, or it's got Oregon Trail, Sudoku, it's got, I forget if it has Wordle. I think he added Wordle to it too. But yeah, you can check out Tinker's website there. A lot of people were asking me in the last video how I got the music to sound the way that I did. Well, I just edited it in, but it was a proof of concept, and this is how we're going to do it in the final release of the RPG, which is using the OPL drivers, read-write, OPL read-write with the AdLib Sound Blaster chip. Alright, yeah, so I'll link this documentation in the description, but pretty much you have these registers and they modulate the amplification, the sustain level, frequency of these waves, and you can get interesting sounding instruments out of the mix. And with this in TinkerOS, we can have multiple instruments playing in the same channel, so you can get like a real band. And the other cool thing is eventually I want to do is get some voices with this driver, because that's never been done before. So yeah, we'll check that out. Let's open up TinkerOS. Alright, so here we are in TinkerOS. I'm going to boot up and I'm going to show you the new multi-channel audio features. So let's open our directory, go to the demo folder, and then sound. So we have a couple files here. There's like two really important ones. So the first one I'm going to show you is Risen Multi. Now this is the demo that Tinker had made, and I'm going to set two instruments here, do choir and violin, and we can hear the multi-channel audio. Let's go. Yeah, so as we can see, you have two different instruments and then they're able to play both channels simultaneously, and that's because of this new play M function. Basically, this is what Tinker wrote to enable the multi-channel audio, and then play MD here. The main difference is in this line down here. So Sound M is what uses the OPL read and write, and this just does it for each channel range specified and switches the instrument, right? So what we would like to add in the future is separate strings, this U8 words. As you heard, it's the same for each instrument. Ideally, you would have a different set of strings. You'd have a different string here for every instrument in the band. The instruments themselves are defined here in this file. So what each of these hex values correspond to is a parameter in the OPL function. Basically modulate the resultant wave in different ways, either the amplitude or the frequency, and you can get these different sounding things. Here you can see I was experimenting with the Vocaloid to try and get some phonemes. The idea of how we'd get Vocaloids to work is by adding an instrument for each phenome, like a L sound or a T sound or a sound, and then you'd be able to play it like a keyboard using any chord, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, in any octave. And if that's something that sounds interesting to you, you can help us build the phonemes, join our Discord, contribute to some of the new audio stuff we're working on.
Okay, how am I gonna open this with one hand? Alright, let's open this package here. Let's see what the old tinker sent me. Little handwritten note here. Alright, let's see. He says, I couldn't find a small form factor PC with a parallel port to send you, but I am sending a PCIe card that provides a parallel port and a CVX4 if you want to tinker with it. Also some Pico and Pico 2, a Pico debugger, and a Pico with a digital to audio converter hat, and my favorite OPL firmware. Also a mystery DVD. Okay, have fun. Let's check it out. Alright, so there's the Pico 2s. These are really cool. I only have the, I think these are better than the ones I have. I only really have, what are these? The Pi Pico 1s. So I guess, yeah, like, those are pretty cool. So Pico 2, great, excellent. What else we have in here? We have the Raspberry Pi Pico H. Whoa, and look, does that come pre-soldered? I don't know. It looks like it maybe does. That's useful. Okay. Alright, what else we got? We've got the Raspberry Pi Pico H, another one. Alright, this one, I don't know if it fell out or... let's see. Temple Sound by the Tinkerer. Yes, okay, so he must have printed this board himself, and I don't know if he did these himself, or I guess he ordered them like that. But there's some fuses on there, I guess. Or no, maybe a DAC hat. Is that what he said? What did he say? Sending a... Oh, this is his serial Pico with a DAC hat. Okay, this is his. This must be his serial OPL. We're gonna have to tinker with this for sure. Yeah. Looks like maybe power comes in here, and then. Yeah, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to dig into this. I don't really know how that works, but let's see. What is this? Oh, here's a Pico audio. Is this the debugger, or is this the... I want to open this up. Okay, I guess this is the output? The Pico with a DAC hat. Oh, maybe this is the digital audio converter. Okay, phones. And then this just goes into the computer here, I guess. Interesting. Okay. Line out. Yeah. Pico audio. Mori Pico audio. I'm gonna have to look that one up. Okay. Another Pico Pi H. And yes, the mystery movie is Chud, because I am definitely the king of Chuds.
Oh, hell no, man.
That is, of course, cannibalistic humanoid underground dwellers. The basement or underground dwellers, yeah, they're not staying down there anymore. Yeah, I saw maybe the first minute of this movie, and a woman gets pulled underground, so definitely rated R. Yep, it says that on the back. And yeah, thanks. Let's see the disc. I did actually know he was gonna send me this, so I managed to guess what he was gonna send me. And there's the disc there. Yep, pretty cool. Yep, I'm pretty sure I could play that on my PlayStation. I don't even know if I have a working DVD player anymore. And here's the PCI. What's this? This is the PCI Express serial combo card with UART. So that, yeah, the Picos use UART, so it's probably for using with the Pico, just a spare PCI. Is it a cable or is it? It looks like the cable. The PCIe card that provides a parallel port and a CVX4 if you want to tinker with it. Yeah, look at this. This was the... Yes, I could definitely tinker with this, do something cool. Let's say, can we focus on that? Q... Yeah. Maybe MOS chip, some of you might know more about the MOS chips, but yeah, cool. All right. What else we got in here? We got the cables. Yep. Let's focus on... I don't know why I keep losing focus, but yeah, pretty cool. All right. And what is it? Oh, this is the debugger. Okay, this is the debugger. I have not seen one of these before. This looks cool. I've been struggling to debug because you have to rebuild every time if maybe I can get an output or something. So how does exactly this work? 3 types of debug cable included for flexible connectivity. 3-pin debug. Okay, we've got this little thing, and we can open it. And ooh, it's got this like ports on the bottom here, so I guess that's what the cables will go into. And so here's the cables. Right. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to use that, but if I can debug faster with my Picos rather than rebuilding them every time, that'll be super useful, especially if I want to really chain together all these different components. Okay, I'm just opening this last thing here. This is the CVX4 high precision parallel port digital audio converter. Okay, let's see that. The DAC. This is probably way better than the DAC that I have, because this thing looks huge. Oh my gosh. For DAC, let's see, made in Belgium. Cool. Okay, what does this say? Low pass filter, DC bypass. Wow, look at that. Okay. And look at all of these. So these are for the... Oh no, these are just switches here. Okay, what are these for? This must be for parallel switching. Okay, interesting. Yeah. So I do have DAC over here. I do have a DAC over here too. This one seems way better than my puny little Max 98357A there. Yeah, so ew, my board is so disgusting. Look at that Cheeto dust on there. Okay, great.
Thanks for tuning into the home for retro classics and modern tech breakthroughs. That was Austin's Tech Review.
Check out the check out his new release, and God bless.